Hi everyone, this is our brand new PodQuest and I'm very excited to introduce you this new project by ALRCS Q team. So just to give you a little background, the Q team have been writing articles for many years now, but from now on we want you guys to have a chance to get to know the professors better. So this is your chance and I'm very excited to announce our very first guest, Professor Boukamba, the one and only. Thank you so much for accepting.
Thank you very much. Hi, my name is Boukamba, and this is my third year at APU in the College of Sustainability and Tourism. I'm from Gabon in Central Africa and been in Japan for almost 9 years now.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your introduction. So let's start with a word association game.
Okay.
So you have to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind, okay?
All right.
So childhood.
Childhood. I'll say fishing.
Fishing, interesting. What about Japan?
Japan, I'll say hot springs.
Hot springs.
Yeah. Still living in Beppu, that's the main highlight of the city.
True. And favorite vacation?
Favorite vacation? It's only South Africa that comes to mind. Yeah, because over there I had more freedom to travel, I'd say.
I see. What about students?
Students. ChatGPT. For students, ChatGPT that comes to mind. Because that's kind of the main thing they have going on.
No.
Yes.
Yeah. Book.
Book, tourism. Or I say tourist behavior.
Tourist behavior.
Yes.
Teaching.
Teaching, storytelling.
A dream.
To graduate. Because PhD was tough, so graduating was kind of
accomplishment.
Yes.
That's nice. A restaurant.
I forgot the name of that place. They sell doteyaki. Yeah. No, there's a restaurant, but it was in Wakayama.
Oh.
So, yes, but I forgot the name.
It's okay.
Yes. That's the food they sell, doteyaki.
Okay.
Wonderful.
A challenge.
Challenge is so far maybe language. Yes, language-wise, that's the current challenge at the moment.
I see. For me as well. What about grades?
Grades? A plus.
A plus.
Always.
Yeah. And hobbies?
Hobbies again, fishing.
Fishing?
Yeah,
It's still
childhood.
fishing?
Yes, of
Oh,
course.
that's interesting. You do fishing in Bangkok?
Yes, I do.
That's nice.
It kind of teaches patience.
Yeah.
Perhaps, yes.
That's cool. Okay, so let's move on to you introducing what classes you're currently teaching at APU.
Well, currently I'm in charge of a couple of classes such as Sociology of Tourism, tourism, Introduction to Tourism and Hospitality, Tourism Development and Planning, Culture and History of Tourism. There is also courses like Practicum and Service Industry. Yeah, so those are the main courses that I'm teaching.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there one that is your favorite to teach?
Well, I'll say my favorite so far is sociology.
Sociology.
But I mean, I'll say it depends. You know, as we move from one semester to another, the vibe that the students bring to the class, yes, the type of responses they give, it kind of enhances the quality. And when I go home, I kind of feel, oh, today's class was good. You know, but if I'm sitting and then students are non-responsive, it kind of brings down,
true.
How I feel about the lesson as well.
That's true. I think this also brings to the table that we students are part of a big thing in quality learning at APU, like how we respond in the classes and how we behave. Right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes.
So can you tell me a little bit about your professional path until APU?
Well, before APU, I started my professional career in South Africa. I worked for about a year for a travel agency. The name was Uniglo Cradle Travel. Okay. Then after that, I went back to complete my bachelor's degree. Then I did a master's degree. Then after that, I went back to Gabon and briefly worked for about less than a year for the Ministry of Tourism. I was basically working on tourism statistics, designing surveys, and so on. And then I had the opportunity to deepen my studies. I mean, in Gabon, I was basically I got a master's degree in tourism and hospitality management.
Okay.
Right, but in Gabon, it's not yet management that is needed, because management is mainly focusing on the impact and post-decision making, how to correct things.
Yes.
Over there, we still look at, we need planning and development. So that kind of led me to search more about tourist behavior, and also how we can predict, adjust things and in a way that could be beneficial.
More at the foundation level.
Yes, at the foundation level, yes, correct.
That's nice. And I also know that you did a graduate school in Japan as well.
Yes, that's right.
How was that, and why did you decide Japan?
My decision for Japan was mainly because it offers a community-centered approach, especially at Wakayama University. So it was a mix between practice and theory.
Okay.
And this is something I also noticed in even here at APU, with a connection with stakeholders, and it was actually one of the reasons that led me, and also the university was one of the few that actually have a UNWTO certification. I mean, APU also does have it, yes, but when I came to Wakayama for a PhD, that was also one of the criteria that led me to select that university.
I see. That's interesting, because I think that also as a student of yours, I also think that you put practice and theory in our classes as well. So everything we learn in theory we can also apply. So it's not just like an idea, it's an actual thing that we get to do. So, yeah, thank you for that.
Welcome.
So moving on, in your opinion, what are the most significant social impacts of tourism on local communities in Japan?
Well, in Japan, I would say those impacts will depend, on the area we're looking at, right? The impacts of tourism in Kyoto are not necessarily the same as the impact of tourism, let's say, in Wakayama or in Beppu City, for example, as one would suffer from over-tourism, while one basically suffers from perhaps tourism into communities that are trying to preserve, a fragile cultural ecosystem, for example.
Right.
So, but if I were to speak from the more general perspective, right, tourism is some of those impacts. Of course, tourism does bring in economic benefits. I'll say that's the main thing people are looking at. But on the other hand, things such as overcrowding. There was even a recent incident where tourists would graffiti on temples, for example, and so cultural erosion, destruction of sites, and so on. So those are the most, I would say, significant, especially a country like Japan that is trying to preserve, what remains of its culture.
Yeah,
yes,
that's true. Thank you so much for your thoughts.
All right.
So, can you name someone who has inspired you in the field of tourism?
Okay, but one person is a bit complicated to...
You can bring as many as you like.
I mean, yes, so having completed a PhD, of course, there were a lot of people involved, in my path. But if I were to name, maybe expand it to three, perhaps, I would say one is my professor that kind of supervised me for my master's degree, Professor Willem Kotze. And he inspired me to actually not obtain a direct answer, but rather, go to the research articles. Right, for instance, I'll go to his office and then I'll have, I needed to know about something, I have questions that I will ask, but he wouldn't answer the question. He would give me an article. And I'll search by reading it, I will understand it, and then now obtain the answer to the question. So it was more about, before I have to ask questions, first I need to do some background research.
I see.
And I learned that from him in a more practical manner. The second one is Professor Catherine Koo. she kind of inspired me because of her mentorship motivation, to kind of take care of early career researchers and so on. I remember when I graduated, she included me in as they call it editors, right? So aspiring career editor for a top journal in tourism. So I was able to see how peer review process works, how we basically, the inner workings of academic publishing. And that was very helpful as well to understand it, and also for networking purposes. And finally, I'll say the last one will be Professor Adam from Wakayama University.
Okay.
Yeah. Although our fields are different, he's researching on surf tourism, but he inspired me when it comes to critical tourism studies, right? So to question the issue of power balance and local communities and so on. So that was basically what I added onto my focus on tourism behavior from a critical lens.
I know I can speak for myself that you have inspired me as well.
Oh.
Because I feel like everything you talk about, like all of the topics, you're very passionate about them. And I also think you have inspired your TA. So can we hear a little bit from her? Okay, so can you introduce yourself, please?
Okay, hello. I am Saima Kadir. I am from the College of Sustainability and Tourism. I come from Bangladesh, and currently I'm in my third semester, like second year, third semester.
Thank you so much. Can you tell us a little bit why did you choose to be a TA for professor?
So like when I was in my first semester, when I came to APU, so I was searching for the major classes that I have to take to graduate, and in that semester, the Introduction to Hospitality and Tourism, like professor's class, was one of the classes that the mandatory classes I chose. And despite this class being like a Friday 6 period class, I used to look forward to it because, as you said earlier, that he's very passionate about what he teaches, and that inspired me too. And also I think I am interested to like major in like tourism. So I think this class, that class helped me a lot during my first semester.
Thank you so much for sharing. And also, what's your favorite thing about his teaching?
Okay, so my favorite thing about his teaching is his interactive class. Like he makes the classroom like very interactive among the students. It's not only like the slides, the lectures, and the students just listen. He makes it interesting through like games, which like grabs the attention of everyone. So I think this is something I really like, and I really want other professors to like imply it, because when it's a game, our generation like likes
pays
it.
attention, right? And it also helps us to remember things, right? Yeah. Thank you so much. So now that you have your both students here, can you share with us a bit of advice for who wants to build a career in tourism and hospitality?
Okay. Well, for those who hope to build or wish to build a career in tourism and hospitality, I'll say that they need to develop, I'll say, a systems thinking mindset. Because when we talk about tourism, we have a system. Okay, we do have local communities. We do have, the tourists. We have the private sector, public sector. By private, we're talking about all those, different businesses, accommodation, car rental, travel, and so on. And of course, we also have policies, economic impact and factors. So wishing to have a career in tourism industry is basically also to be able to combine a type of skill set. Okay, and core thing they should have would be critical thinking, analytical thinking, as well as I'll say passion and motivation to be in the service sector industry.
Yes.
To be open, people's personal say. Yes, so those are things that I can advise.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I think these are very valuable. And guys, that was it. I'm so sorry that this is ending. I really like to hear you talking. It's so good. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. And last week, we actually interviewed Professor for our interview article that you can check it out at APU Faculty Interview Articles, or we also gonna leave the link down below. And that's it, guys. Thank you. This is PodQuest, and I'm Isabel, your host. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye bye. See you next time.